welcome again. I've got my brass monkeys next to me here. So I'm Rich.
I'm Doug.
And I'm Steve.
Well, guys, the first thing I suppose we need to talk about really is, last episode we said we were going to have an interview of the great Barry Evans. I mean, unfortunately, it's been delayed, hasn't it? But we will get it to you as soon as we've got it.
That's it. We'll follow up on that and definitely get him on the podcast.
Yep. So I suppose, guys, bands are busy at the moment with the old regionals, aren't they?
Yeah, we've got the regionals, within the next month, really. Some bands have only got 2 weeks to go. Others have got a little bit longer. So it's all coming up at a rate of knots.
Yeah, well, for us, it's the dreaded trip down to Swansea, isn't it? I like Swansea, but the journey.
It's nearly always the same, isn't it? It's a little bit biased, I think.
Yeah, that's where the controversy starts, doesn't it? Every year we get, why can't we alternate it? And for some reason, we don't seem to be on that track, do we?
Well, I think the last one was in Wrexham, wasn't it? In the college, the university as it is now.
Yeah,
showing me age there, calling it a college. Yeah,
William Aston Hall, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
And the funny story with that one was one poor soul had to play twice, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah, I do remember that one.
Yeah.
Who was that?
That'd be me. I got
be
volunteered, didn't I?
You did, yeah. Yeah, it was straight after as well, wasn't it?
No, it was first band on. I had to go on.
Yeah, that was right.
I think we were drawn like fourth or something, and I had to go on first. My Rachel went to the draw, and ended up the first band on didn't have a bass player, so everyone was keeping their head down and didn't want to play. So she told me I was doing it.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. Yes. That was fun times, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Which band was it, Steve, that you ended
Wine
up?
Kai Gerwin.
Ah, yeah. Any good?
Yeah. Well, they won.
Oh, there we are then.
It's probably because of you, Steve.
No.
You don't reckon? So, I mean, for us, we're with me and Doug are playing for Buckley, and we're playing the lovely, what's it called, Doug? Because you love it, don't you?
I've got to be honest with you, I can't remember the name.
It's a friendly takeover, isn't it?
Ah, there we are.
Which is in the second section. And it's not, I don't think it's fair to say, it's not a hard piece, is it?
Now we've started rehearsing it, I would definitely say that the middle of the piece, where the principal cornet player, flugelhorn and euphonium come in with their bits, I think it is quite nice, that middle
it's like
section.
A chory bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is quite nice.
It's just the beginning and the end, really, they're a bit.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a challenge for bands to play it. The dynamics, I think that's going to be the biggest thing I can see with it. I don't know. Have you heard it, Steve?
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think?
I always sit on the fence a bit with these test pieces because there's always more in them than everyone says, and a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, there isn't much in that," or that's not really a challenge. But there's always something, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, compared to the last couple we've had, it's completely different, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
And it's like, oh, right, okay. I think there's definitely bands who won't take it seriously enough.
Yeah,
and I think that'll be their undoing. I mean, I spoke to. I can look to Keith about it, and he agrees with me. He says a lot of bands will play it, but it's the musicality and stuff and the dynamics he thinks is going to be the trip hazard, so to speak.
It's that middle, definitely, where it goes quiet, pianos, and definitely.
But there's lots of trombones in it, isn't it, Doug?
No, there isn't. No, there isn't really. But having said that, like I say, I've realised with that cornet part, flugel and euphonium in the middle of the piece, there's plenty for them to play, definitely, and quite nice.
I suppose it'll all come out in the wash, as I say. It'll be interesting to see what results we get. And
it's always a challenge as well, and obviously if you can come first or second, then you might well end up in the finals in Cheltenham, and maybe get a better test piece to play, you know. So
Yeah.
that's the reward, isn't it? For
That's the carrot.
putting the
carrot
work
dangle.
in. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard the fourth?
Yeah,
section piece?
it's quite a nice piece, really. All in all, yeah, it's there's a couple of interesting bits in it. There's a little bit of stamping your feet and blowing wind through your instruments going on. But it's Ida Dalius, as I say it. There's quite a nice little snippet out there from Corey as well that they've done, where Philip Harper's trying to sort of do a bit of guiding on what, how he would take it and things. So that's really good that they've done that, Corey's.
Yeah.
That's really interesting to see.
Is that on YouTube?
That's out there, yeah, on YouTube, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's worth a look for that. I don't know if we can put a link on somehow to...
Well, there'll be a link to YouTube. Just go into and put in Corey, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting. I'll have to have a listen.
Yes.
I'm going to try and get up to Holywell just to have a
it'd be great if you could.
listen and see.
I think we're trying to do an open rehearsal at some point.
Yeah, I think we're struggling with the time on that.
Yeah, but, even just one of our own, just to sort of put us under a little bit of pressure, really.
Yeah.
Maybe the Free Brass Monkeys could turn up.
Yeah, you never know, yeah.
That's too much pressure.
That's too much pressure, yeah. So I suppose, there's lots going on at the moment, and I know bands are struggling here and there to get players, and it's the usual scrabble to get players for the contest, isn't it?
I think it's a sign of the times at the moment, Richard. It's just the way things are, and you've just got to knuckle down and keep it all going, haven't you? And thankfully, the Royal Buckley Brass Band are starting off a kids group, which is always a good move, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's a few bands, isn't there? I think, Steve, you know a couple, don't you?
Yeah, it's been really refreshing, really, since sort of the last few months, really. That everybody seems to be doing a little bit. I know Buckley have started a new youth group, haven't you? And you've been appealing for instruments and seats and all sorts, haven't you? Little chairs for the little kids and things.
I think we could do with some young kids on trombone. I think we've got one at the moment.
Oh, it's trombones, and long arms they need, don't they?
I think we could do it at least another 16.
Yeah, you get one good one then, don't you?
It's a random, random noise generator, isn't it?
So Hollywood, we're trying to rekindle the youth side of things, and I see Vicky and Abigail's put a youth band together.
Yeah, it was nice to receive an email from her talking about it. They've got plans, aren't they, doing something coming up?
I think they're going to do something in the local Eisteddfod, aren't they, and things.
Which is great.
So that's really good. See, Rill have started the youth band as well.
All right, okay.
So that's really good. Llandudno's been doing a lot with the what's called John Bright, haven't they? Down there, and Menibridge have always got things out there on social media about their youth band, how they're doing things, and what they're up to, which is again fantastic. And I suppose generally with bands as well is that we've had. You were saying with the run up to the areas, Northup seem to have. Signed 6 new players as well for the senior band. So, and our great friend Thomas Feast is back there conducting.
I believe so.
Yeah. Well, they've certainly done well with him in the past. So why not? It's it obviously works there. It's a good formula, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was talking to one of our old fellow players, Jamie Duncan, last week.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's over in Liverpool now with Allerton Band in your section, of all things. So I was talking to him about the test piece and things, and he was saying that middle movement and things, and getting the music out of it.
But he was saying to Northwest, though, won't he?
Yeah, so he's Northwest, but that sort of level of bands and things. And he was saying, it's quite refreshing where he is. They've got a full band. Most of the players are under 40.
Wow.
And he's got 4 percussionists.
Wow.
And what a refreshing change to where we're all scrabbling for the same players, really, aren't we? We haven't got that abundance of players, have we? No. So fingers crossed it will come, but, it was just nice to see somewhere, an area where there is that, sort of pool of players.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he does well, because he did well at Holywell, didn't he, when he was there?
He did really well, yeah. And then the other one was... the other band who got hold of me was Chris Davis, who's the chairman of Porter Wine Band. Yeah. They've just recently had Steve Pritchard Jones has gone back there as the conductor.
Well, come back to his roots, has he?
Now, yeah, there is that, because I think it was 1975 he started there.
Wow.
That's showing his age, isn't it? So almost 50 years ago to the day from when he started playing, he's gone back as their musical director. And he's also the director of music with the West Midlands Police Band as well. So
Right.
there's a good tie-in there, isn't
Yeah, a lot of experience there, isn't there?
So, what do you know the dates, Doug, of the contests? Do you know when the Northwest one is?
Yeah, the Northwest regionals are on the 23rd of February. All 5 sections are on the same day there. And then we've got the Midlands Regional Championships on the 9th of March. And then, of course, our Welsh Regional Brass Band Championships are on the 15th of March and the 16th of March.
Isn't the Welsh one the last one usually, or second to last?
Yeah, I think it's near the end, isn't it? There's only sort of 3 or 4 weekends they do it over. But what sections have we got on each day on that one?
On the 15th of March, we've got sections 2, 4 and 1. And on the 16th, we've got the 3rd and championship.
Right, so that should be a better setup, because we
Change
didn't have
that
many.
round, didn't they?
We didn't have many bands in the 4th section last year, and just hoping we get more this year, because we only had 3. And, so hopefully they'll get a few more out there.
And me and Richard will be playing early in the 2nd section on the 15th, in the morning.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure we have an early night. The
And
night
be well
before.
behaved as ever.
Yeah. Well, that's all good stuff. So, I suppose, like I said, it's busy times, isn't it, for all the bands, and we're all racing towards Cheltenham, hopefully, if we can get there. So I don't know.
I think it's about time that we got a result there. It'd be lovely to come 1st or 2nd with Royal Buckley.
You fancy going to Cheltenham again, do you, Doug?
I do, really, because last time I was there, I played with the Norfolk B Band, as I've said on an earlier podcast.
Bravo, Trumbo.
And at the first attempt, we won the national finals in the 4th section,
Yeah.
So
You mentioned in the adjudication, so
Did you say that? Did
no,
you mention that?
not on that occasion.
Wow. Just going to try and do one up and do it this time.
talking about mentioned in dispatches, and a slightly different one. I received a lovely parcel last week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was some beautiful pies. So some beautiful pies with all different fillings in,
They sound good.
and some lovely cakes and sweets. Oh, it's fantastic. And they were from the principal tuber of the Corey band,
Wow.
Tommy Tynan. He's got a company called the Lockdown Pie Company.
Well,
And my old mate Simon Owens has organised a little food parcel for me from them, and it was lovely to get, and also a nice little card inside from the Corey band as well.
Oh, well, that's good.
That was very nice.
I suppose we've actually slipped into Steve Snippets.
Yeah, we have really. We jumped around a bit there.
So that was one of them.
Yeah.
Have you got any more for us, Steve?
So, what you're saying about Buckley, I did notice in the local press that Kenneth Lloyd had retired, put his stick away or put his mouthpiece away, finally.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Now, he started when he was 7 years old, and he's been playing for 82 years.
Wow.
So
that's not bad going, that, is it?
I think he's done his service now, I think, don't you?
Fair play.
yeah,
I know he conducted us a couple of years ago for our bicentenary.
yeah,
Bicentenary, 200 years.
bicentenary concert. Didn't he? He took the band.
He took the band, didn't he?
And I was talking to Lord Barry Jones in that concert, and he said that if Ken had been in South Wales, and if Buckley band had been based in South Wales, he would have had letters after his name, definitely.
Really? Wow.
For all the work he'd done over the years.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic achievement, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
the dedication of the man.
yeah, all them years, and he was still playing and taking the senior ensemble, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Till a few months ago.
Yeah.
Another little bit of sad news was I seen as well that the conductor and adjudicator Brian Buckley South Wales, had passed away a couple of weeks ago.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sad.
So he was such a lovely guy as well. So yeah, it's a bit of sad news and a bit of good news around and about. And as I say, we've had a few little snippets of information from the bands on what they're up to, but we'd really like more. You know, there's this great opportunity to, you know, sell yourselves and tell the world what you're up to. So please get in touch with us.
Yeah, and we'll at the end of the show we'll drop some contacts. We've now got a Facebook page, which we'll get onto. But yeah, I mean, our band manager Martin was telling the band the other day about there's a potential, there's a decline in the Buckley Jubilee.
Yeah, I'd seen that. I'd seen that on social media as well, and in the local press. That obviously, with it being in the week, it's been mainly run by the churches, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it reminds me very much as sort of the Whit Friday one.
Yeah.
So they have the church parades in the day. So there's a parade on the afternoon where we march around Buckley and you go past all the churches. And that's been reduced over the years because of the number of churches and chapels has reduced, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's sad, isn't it? Because I think there's a lot of bandsmen, especially in North Wales, who've taken part in that. And I know Martin over the last few years has been doing like a mass band. I mean, we've had 40, 50 on the stand.
That's it.
That one really 2 years ago was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's really personally tried to boost that, hasn't he, tremendously. And
so we need to get him in and question him on it, because he probably knows more about it than what we do. All I've told is, you know, we've got to try and keep it going.
Yes,
So,
maybe if they moved it away from a Tuesday, you know.
Maybe.
Might get more people.
Yeah. We've got to do something, because it's a good tradition, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that we're on about trying to maybe move it to a weekend, but I know this is just me as a madcap idea. I mean, we could almost have like a mini Whit Friday competition, couldn't we, for the bands in North Wales on it?
Yeah, I think the scope to expand it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, just something different. Just try and do something to keep it going. Cause,
and there's a big area there, isn't there? Yeah. The green in Buckley, you know, it's it could be easily utilised for something like that. And why not?
Yeah, well, we'll get him in and we'll grill him. Anything else, Steve?
Stuff. That was most of my snippets, to be honest, for what I'd received and what I've heard. And I'm keeping my ear down or keeping my ear open. I'm not sure which way you'd say that, but I'm trying to track people down. I've tried to get hold of all the bands around and about to try and get some information off them.
Yeah, well,
hopefully it'll grow. How are we doing for people wanting to sort of tell their history, Rich?
Well, we've got a few people lined up, haven't we?
Oh, nice one.
Who, a few potential interviews and stuff. So obviously we're going to do Barry when we can. And there's a few bandsmen that keep bumping into them, and they say they've heard the podcast. And we'll be interested in that. So hopefully we'll have loads of stories and stuff that probably some of us have been involved in. I would imagine down the line. But yeah, I think the potential. Well, like you said, it's all about growing it. We're trying to keep the banding movement going. And that's the important thing. And I suppose the more people that get to know about it, the more people that get in touch with us.
Great.
So, over to Doug and Doug's diary.
Well, earlier we mentioned the regional qualifying contest dates. All I've got for you really after that are more contest dates. We've got the 103rd Spring Festival on the 10th of May. We've got...
Where's that, Doug?
That's in the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. Yeah. And I believe there's 60 bands that take part in that. There's 3 different contests, and the winners get to play in the British Open, which is a hell of an incentive to take part, isn't it? You know, because what a cracking competition that is later on in the year. And then we've got the Whit Friday March contests on the 13th of June. We've then got the British Open that I mentioned, the 171st British Open on the 6th of September. And then, of course, later on, we've got the national finals, section 1 to 4 on the 13th and 14th of September in Cheltenham. And then we've got the National Brass Band Championship contest on the 11th of October in the Royal Albert Hall. And then we've got the 48th Brass in Concert on the 15th of November, and that's in Gateshead. One that did get sent in to me was a cancellation, unfortunately, of the Newtown March contest, which was supposed to be on the 8th of June, but as I say, for some reason, that one's been cancelled.
Have they cancelled it or postponed it? Or
Postponed it, haven't they?
Postponed
Postponed
it,
it till next year, but that's a great shame because
it's a good event then.
I think Hollywood, we won that once.
We did.
We did, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. Me and Rich, that was. No Doug.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
Doug on that
no,
one.
no.
I must have been away there. Was I in the army then? Was I?
I think he was, mate. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's great, Doug. Thanks for that, and Steve. And what I want to introduce as well, obviously, the people who've got to send stuff in, is Richie's Redemption, which is a little piece about stories that we can broadcast. So funny stories from bandsmen and or bands' wives or bands' partners who want to send in their stories. So that leads on greatly to the way you can get in touch with us. So my fellow brass monkey Steve has created a Facebook page. Steve, how'd you get to that?
I have. It's literally just going to be, just look for the Brass Monkeys and you'll find us.
Is that the Brass Monkey podcast or just the Brass Monkeys?
Just Brass Monkeys.
Oh, cool. And guys, big news. We're actually on YouTube. Now, only YouTube as in the audio side, because we've all got faces for radio. We don't want to be seen. But in the future, you never know, we might do a video one. But we're on YouTube, and again, you can just look for us on that by just going to the Brass Monkeys podcast, and you should be able to find us. Please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It'd be great if you can join us on there. And again, you can get us via any podcast provider, iTunes, Spotify, Alexa Music, Podchaser, all of them really. And you can go to the Podbean app as well, and you can see it from there. But now I'm going to put Doug under the spot. What's our email, Doug?
Our email is thebrassmonkeyspodcast@gmail.com.
Thanks for that, Doug. So thank you very much, and tune in next time. It's a bye from me.
Goodbye from Doug.
And it's a bye from Steve.